So the owner, he came from the Amazon rainforest, and a lot of the Amazon bows are extremely large and extremely long, and you really can't bring that in an airplane without paying a ridiculous amount. So this is likely specifically designed for being a souvenir or the size for a child bow. We're gonna look at the characteristics. The wood is made of black palm, and it is of mostly rectangular cross section with a slight elliptical, if you can see, a slight elliptical cross section, but it's mostly rectangular. The length is about 28 or 27 inches, and the width at its widest portion about 1.5 inches roughly. And so this is a very small bow, and there's no string for it. It must have been lost. So in terms of its nocks, there's actually two designs. There's a shoulder knock at one end, and then the other end has more of this cutout slot on these. So it's interesting that the knock design is different on both sides. This one with the shoulder knock, we have, according to the literature of the 20th century, they have this design. But the other one here, I can't find literature of this specific knock design. So quite often these bows are individually made, and of course they don't need to follow a specific design. Now from the Amazon, there are actually quite a lot of different tribes, such as the Bororo, the Yamonami, and then there are plenty of other tribes. You have to keep in mind there was quite a lot of trade and immigration around these areas, especially during the central Brazil Xingu area of northern Mato Grosso. And of course, after contact with the Europeans, they would have likely had even more access to different types of tribes and trade and ideas. According to the 19th century book, there are mainly three different categories. The first one is the North Brazilian bows, which is the famous ones you see that are so long, and the arrows are so long, likely so you can find the arrows better, and it's better for fishing. You don't need a small arrow, and a large arrow like that would allow you to find it in the dense jungle. So those are the typical North Brazilian bows. Then you have the Peruvian style bows, likely used as mercenaries by the Inca Empire, but also they were used locally. They typically had these rectangular cross sections and shorter lengths. And they actually quite often remind me of the Central American bows as well, in Nicaragua, for example. And they're made of black palm, of course, dense, elastic black palm that are self-wood unbacked. And then you have the East Brazilian bows, which are more elliptical at the cross section and sometimes more oval, but they're usually longer than the Peruvian bows. And south of South America is not in the scope of this video because it's not part of the Amazon culture, so I didn't include it in this video. In the center of the Amazon, where you have the Xingu people, in the modern day Xingu Park, you have all kinds of different tribes trading with each other. So in that region, it's just a mixture of all kinds of bow designs. And when I look at this bow, it shows me a mixture of different designs of the Peruvian and the East Brazil. So if I was going to put a location of where this bow is most likely from, I would think it's from the central Brazilian, the central Amazon area of the Xingu Park area, because you have features of it being short and relatively rectangular, which is a Peruvian feature made of black palm. But then there are features that are not really Peruvian, such as it being slightly elliptical, so it's more of an East Brazilian feature. Of course, the knocks here are not even symmetric. One of the knocks is different from the other knock. So this is likely just the artistic decision of the bowyer. And so I believe this is likely from central Amazon region, where there is a mixture of different cultures and ideas being exchanged by the East and West Amazon cultures. And of course, being a souvenir, it's a lot shorter than the typical one. So also keep that in mind. Perhaps this one was made specifically for the tourist market and the Boyer just simply didn't have enough knowledge. Anyways, if you're a collector for South American artifacts, I think this would be a good thing in your collection.